Hi everyone, I've got a Hisense TV, it's a 75-inch Hisense TV. So basically it's not turning on, so here's the power, and this is, I've got the light is on for the charger, so I'm going to plug it in. So the standby light is not turning on, the red light should be coming on here, it's not coming on, so this is the remote, so nothing's happening. Well, first, we should have a standby light, but there's no standby light. So without standby light, the TV is not going to turn on. So the TV is something wrong with it, obviously. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to diagnose it. And I'm going to find out the fault and hopefully I'm going to fix it. Thank you again, guys. Thanks. Okay, so I've opened the back of the TV. So this is the back of the TV. And this is what we can see for all the electronic boards. So basically, because our TV is not turning on and it doesn't have a standby light over there, so we can say that we have problems on this board, which is the power supply board. So I'm going to first check everything on this board, making sure that all the voltages are correct and every components are working, and if everything is good there, then could be something problem with the main board here. We do not know yet, but we're gonna start from this board because that's the main power supply board, and we're gonna go from there. So I'm just gonna put this camera here. And I'm going to disconnect all the connecting wires. This for the main board and this for the LED lights. So as we can see, we don't have any other wires. And we have about, I could see we have 5 bolts. So I'm going to remove all these bolts. We still have power on the board, so just try to be careful not to touch the components, removing the board like this. So I'm going to take this on my repairing table and we're going to do the repairing over there, so follow me guys, thanks. Alright guys, so what I do is the way I repair my boards is I always check the components if any of the components that I could see that's been damaged visually by if it's burned out or it's blown out or it's risen up and things like that, if it's gone black anyway. So this side of the board and also this side of the board. So that's how I do my repairing. I check for the blackness or for any damage on the board that I could, if I could see. At this stage, I don't see anything that is damaged, so by a visual check, everything looks good. So we go for the next step. The next step is, because on this board we don't have any standby lights and we don't have any power. So then we can see we have a fuse here. Just bring this closer. So we have a fuse here. So we can always check this fuse and see if that's all good. So we do that. We check the fuse first. By checking the fuse, we need a multimeter. We need to put the multimeter into the continuity mode, which is up here. So that's the continuity sign that every multimeter has. So yeah, so let's go and test this. So it doesn't matter which side of the probe wire that you're going to put, either this one or this one, doesn't matter. So we will get a reaction from multimeter. It will buzzes. The multimeter will buzzes once we connect so just like so. And my multimeter goes red. So either way, we get a buzzer, and that's good. That means when we get a buzzer, that means our fuse is all connected and it's all working. So that's that. Now the next step that I'm going to do is, because our fuse is good, nothing is blown, so I need to connect it to the power, and also I want to make sure that my wires working as well. So the wires also could be the fault. So by checking the wire, you need to put this into the power, or connect this, or you can check the wire just by itself. You don't need to connect it, but I'm going to check it here so I know that I've got 2 points over here. If I can show you guys, there's the 2 points, so I can put my multimeter there and check for the voltages there, IC voltages, and that will tell me that the wire is working, and that's that. So connect this to the power. So we put it on the power, connected. Okay, so now we're checking IC voltage, so we need to put our multimeter on the IC voltage. So that's a DC. No, that's IC. So we're going to, now again, it doesn't matter if we put our probes either way, because it's all good, it doesn't matter, so we can put it either way. Okay, so we got 236 IC voltage. So if I turn around and put it the other way around, that'll tell me exactly the same thing. So 236 IC voltage. Okay, so now we're sure that our wire is working and the power's coming to the board. So the power comes to the board to here, and then it starts from here and goes through these inductors and goes, there's a bridge rectifier and goes there. That's got 4 legs, and 2 of the legs is IC voltage and 2 of the legs is DC voltage. And after the bridge rectifier, the DC voltage will come into these 2 capacitors. So that is my next testing. So I want to make sure that I have DC voltages on these 2 capacitors. So that's what I'm going to test next one. So we need to change our multimeter, put it onto DC voltage. So it's on DC voltage. So now we need to put our multimeter on the correct way. Negative onto negative, positive to positive. Okay, so capacitor is charging, and it's up to 350, 351. 351 DC voltage, 352. Yeah, 352 DC voltage, so that's good. So I'm going to test this one now. So I need to change my props because the negative is on this side. So this one's also charging. Which the maximum DC voltage is 352, so $352. Yes, 351, 352. That's the. So our capacitors working. They both working. They're all good. So as you guys can see that our board so our board has two sections. It says here hot and it says here cold. So, and also there's a line here that divides the board. You see the line here? So this section is the hot section and this section is the cold section. So all the high voltages is on the hot section. All the AC and DC high voltages on the hot section. And on this side, all the DC voltages and the low voltages. So I would say the maximum would be 24 DC voltage on this side. So all the DC voltages on this cold section. So you want to make sure, we want to make sure that all our IC and DC voltages are correct on this side. That's the first thing that we want to make sure, that all the elements on this side is working good and all the voltages are correct. So my next step, what I do is I have like these capacitors which is sitting on the hot section, these two small capacitors, because capacitors are like they store voltages, so they're the important element of the board. So that's the way I sort of do my repairing. I want to make sure that all the capacitors store the correct voltages and they're all working good, and that's how I do first. So I'm going to test these two capacitors first, and I want to make sure that all the voltages are correct and then everything is all good. And also it's because it's on the other on the hot section, so it's always wise to check all the hot section first and make sure everything is working good. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first check these two capacitors, and I want to make sure that everything's working with the charge and everything. Okay, so let's go and do that. I have to be careful because it's connected to the power. Okay. So this is the two of our capacitors here and there, and that's the hot section, that's the cold section. So that's the two capacitors, that the one I said that I'm going to check. So we put the negative on a negative and positive on a positive. So as we can see, the voltage is not stable, and it's also, it goes up to IT1, but it's not stable. It's just funny reading of voltage, IT79, and then it changes, goes back to 0, IT79. Well, IT79 is not the correct voltage because we do not need IT79 stored voltage. So let's check this one. And this one is the same way, the positives on this side, negatives on the other side. So this one reads about 1575, and it's not stable as well. Just keep going up and down, and that's not, it's 1575, which is, that's what I can get from that, but it also keeps changing, and it's 1575, but it's not, we do not need 15. So something's wrong here, something's happened. What I can see is that voltage is increased, which I think that meant to be 12, and this voltage is decreased. With this, I think that they would have been 12 as well. So these two voltages are not correct. So I can go again and test it. It reads out height something, but doesn't go over height, it just height something. And this one is 15 something, but it just constantly keep changing, and so that's what it's we can say that's not right. So let's take one out and just we can just go ahead from this and see if any change one or change the two, and see if we get any changes on the board. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So before I do that, I just take this one out, so it's easier for me. Okay, so obviously the board has power, so just to be careful still. So I'm going to use this, and just to make sure I put the camera right. It's too close. Okay. So my gun is hot, so I'm gonna take this capacitor out. There you go. Oops. So that's so let's deal with the voltage and the capacitance of this. So the voltage reads at 50 V, and also a 47 UF microfarad. So that's what I need to replace. Okay, so I think I have one here already. So here I have a well, I can say it's a V50 V, then a 47 UF, 47 UF, so I can put that and see if we can, or maybe we have to change part of it. So negative, that's negative, the band, the color band is negative, so we put it the correct way. Okay, so okay, I might have to undo this and put it on the table so I can seal it properly. Okay. You can always bend the legs so they don't go and fall out backwards. And then just seal it. because I did see a piece broken, and it's alcohol, pure alcohol for cleaning. So it's good, it's sealed. Not bad, it's okay. Okay, so we can test it, and if it's not, if we still have an issue, then we can change the other one. Because sometimes only one can be wrong, or both could be wrong, so you just don't know. But you just have to test it first and see if it's okay, then it's fixed. If it's not, then you have to change that. Okay, so multimeter is on the DC voltage. So let's test this one first. So our voltage reads 1236 DC voltage. So 12 is correct. 12 is correct. Before it was 8. So let's see this one. So this one is close to 12, 11, 36. 1136 DC voltage. So that seems good now. Before it was different. 12, 36, 37 DC voltage. So let's say 1136. It stops at 36. It goes to 37, but 36. That's the voltage. So that seems better than before. So we can try to. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the TV and see if our problem is solved and if the standby light comes on and the TV turns on and everything. So we can. The voltage is reading fine now. Before it was wrong. It was low on this side, high on this side. So it was. That's why. So we can. I'm gonna put it on the TV and see how we done it. How we go. Okay, so I'm gonna connect the wires. This is for the main board and this is for the LED lights. So I'm gonna turn the TV, or we can test it by see if the light's coming on. Just bring the light. So I'm gonna connect it and power it. So as I don't know if you guys can see it, the red light is turned on. I'll just bring the camera closer. So the red light is on. If I unplug, it goes off, and if I plug, it comes on. So that's a good news. So we didn't have standby light. Now we have standby light. So I'm gonna turn around the TV, and we're going to see if the TV starts. Or I can just put the see if it turns on from here. Can't see the picture, but we can see the LED lights is coming on. If I turn the lights off. So the LED lights of the TV is turned on, so that's good. Because the antenna is not connected, so there we go. I'll turn it off and I'll turn it on. Sorry, so I'll turn it on. There we go. But I will turn the TV around and put the picture. And that's a good sign that we have LED lights in the standby light. Okay, so as we can see, the TV is all fixed. The picture is all good. So the issue was the capacitor. It's all good now. So thanks very much for watching this video. And please, if you like it, please like and subscribe. Don't forget. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.